Yes, I'm live now. Welcome once again to another new video. This is SAHOO and you are watching SAHOO's tutorial. So in this YouTube video here I will be covering some important MCQ questions for the upcoming MPSET exam. This is the part 2. You know that I am conducting 500 MCQ series for the upcoming MPSET exam. I have created a playlist called 500 MCQ for MPSET. Okay, do visit the playlist, that is 500 MCQ for MPSET. You will be getting the videos by visiting that playlist. So I request all of you to visit the playlist. Do join quickly. I'll be covering here some important MCQ, and let me share this link in my Telegram channel. Do join the Telegram channel, that is SAHOO UGC.net. You'll be getting the PDF as well. So do join the Telegram channel, SAHOO UGC.net. Okay. So do join that. Do join quickly, and let me share this link here in my Telegram channel. This is the second video. This is the part 2. I had earlier made many videos for upcoming MPSET exam, but this is here I am conducting 500 MCQ series for important 500 MCQ series questions for the upcoming MPSET exam. This is the part 2. I have created a playlist that is 500 MCQ. 500 MCQ for MPSET. Okay, so visit the playlist and you'll be getting all those videos that I have made. So let's begin the session here. Okay. Before starting the session, this is my humble request to all the aspirants, to all the MPSET aspirants, to all the UGC aspirants. Please make sure to subscribe the channel and tap the bell icon to get more notification as well. I'll be covering here some important MCQ questions. So without wasting your time, without further ado, let's begin the session and let's get started. And here is the first question on your screen. And here is the first question on your screen. Please do answer in the comment box. Those who are live, you can answer, and those who are not live, okay, you can watch this session. It will be available in the playlist. So earlier I had discussed 25 important MCQ questions, and this is here 26. Okay, so that's why it's beginning with question number 26. Earlier in the first video I had made, in the first part I had made already 25 MCQ questions. This is the part 2. So let's begin here, and here is the first question on your screen. Please do answer. The stealthy school of criticism. The stealthy school of criticism was written in self-defense. This was written in self-defense, okay, by Keats and Shelley, A.C. Swinburne, Dante Gabriel Rossetti. Who has written this work? The Stealthy School of Criticism was written in self-defense by whom? So the right options would be here Dante Gabriel Rossetti. D.G. Rossetti has written Stealthy School of Criticism, which was written in self-defense. Okay, the attack. Okay, the attack was made upon the fleshly school of poetry. Okay. So the term Indo-Hilitl, the term here Indo. It is not Hittite. Assigns considerable weight to the dash language: Anatolian, Albanian, Aramaic, and here Armenian. So the term here Indo-Hittite assigns considerable weight to the dash language, and it is actually Anatolian. And here is the explanation. You see that the term Indo-Hittite was proposed by scholars who believed that the other closely related Anatolian language represent a language branch at the same level as all the other Indo-European languages combined, rather than a branch at the level of the individual into Indo-European language, Celtic, German, etc. So here Anatolian is the right answer. So here this one Anatolian is the right answer. Next question. William Eames defines question number 28 here. William Eames defines the first type of ambiguity as simple word. So William Eameson, the new critic, William Eameson, the new critic, and he has written 7 types of ambiguity. 7 types of ambiguity. The book 7 types of ambiguity that was published in 1930. Okay, where 7 types of ambiguity, and here are the first types of ambiguity as a simple simile, a simple metaphor, a simple irony, semantics. So William Eameson, the 7 types of ambiguity, and the first type of ambiguity was simple metaphor. Simple metaphor is the right answer. Okay, and here is the explanation. The first type of ambiguity that William Eameson has talked is the metaphor, that is when two things are said to be alike, which have different properties without using as, like, and such. The concept is similar to the metaphysical concept. Okay, this is 7 types of ambiguity by the new critic William Eameson. The theater major hypothesis. The 3 major hypotheses regarding the structural development of Creole vernaculars are here: Virgin, Pidgin Creole, African, Asian American, then good morning, substrate, superstrate, universalist, selection, inclusion, exclusion. So the 3 major hypotheses regarding the structural development of Creole. Now you should know, okay, what is Pidgin and what is Creole. Okay, so after knowing Pidgin and Creole, okay, you'll be able to answer here. So the three major hypotheses regarding the structural development of Creole vernaculars are here. Good morning, Rao. So here substrate, superstrate, and universalist. So here C is the right answer. Okay, so C is the right answer. Substrate, superstrate. Okay, substrate. Substrate, superstrate, and universalist is the right answer. And what is, you should know that what is Pidgin and what is Creole. What is Pidgin and Creole? This is very important. Okay, Pidgin and Creole. Pidgin क्या है? A Pidgin is a language, okay, that does not have any native speakers. Okay, it is a new language which develops in situations where speakers of different languages need to be communicated but do not share a common language. So they don't have a common language. So it is a business language, it's a business oriented language. So Pidgin is a language that does not have any native speaker. It is a new language which develops in a situation where speakers of a different language need to communicate but do not share a common language. This is Pidgin. Okay. And when children start learning, okay, a Pidgin as their first language, it becomes the mother language of a community. So it is a business oriented language. It has no mother language. It has no native speaker, whereas Creole has native speaker. Okay. The descendants are becoming a native speaker. When children starts learning a Pidgin as the first language, it becomes the mother tongue of our community. It is called a Creole. Like a Pidgin, a Creole is a distinct language which has taken most of its vocabulary from another language. And what is Pidgin? A Pidgin is a language with no native speaker. So Pidgin में क्या native speaker नहीं है. It is no one's first language, but it's a contact language. It is a business language. It is a business-oriented language. Okay, communicative language. And here, what is Creole? Creole, in contrast to a Pidgin, is often defined as a Pidgin that has become the first language of a new generation of speakers. The new generation of speakers has the first language. Okay, so this is the difference between Pidgin and Creole. मान लो कि आप चाइना में गए हो, ठीक है, मान लो कि आप चाइना में गए हो, तो you do not know the native language of China, even they do not know the native language of India. So how will you speak? You will speak in English. So this is here, when you are speaking in English, that is the Pidgin. Okay, but you stay there, okay, you married there, okay, and you have a baby. So when the baby is okay learning, okay, in that circumstances, the baby is becoming the native speaker. The baby is becoming the native learner, and he or she is using the mother tongue. That is Creole. Okay. Okay. So the first generation. Okay, the first generation of you is becoming the Creole. And here the substrate and superstrate are often used when two languages interact. Actually, so here substrate and superstrate and universalist is the right answer. Okay. Next question. The Stonewall reared in 1969. Okay, earlier I had also made this question, so I had also discussed these questions. Okay, the Stonewall reared in 1969 marks the birth of the dash movement, civil rights movement, gay liberation movement, women rights movement, black power. Will you please answer in the comment box? So the Stonewall reared in 1969 marks the birth of the dash movement here. Those who are new, you can join the Telegram channel, that is SAHOO UG Senate. Okay, you will be getting the PDF as well, some notes. Okay, every day you post there. Do join and you'll be updated regarding the classes. Excellent. So the Stonewall reared in 1969 marks the birth of the gay liberation movement. Gay liberation movement is the Stonewall reared in 1969. Excellent, Rao. It is 1969 the Stonewall reared. And here you see the explanation. The Stonewall riots, also known as the Stonewall Uprising, Stonewall Liberation, or simply Stonewall, were a series of spontaneous protests by the members of the gay community in response to a police raid that began in the early morning hours of June 28. Stonewall Inn in the Greenwich Village neighborhood of Lower Manhattan in New York City. Patrons of the Stonewall, other village lesbian, gay bars, and neighborhood other street people fought back when the police became violent. The riots are widely considered the watershed event that transformed the gay liberation movement and the 20th century LGBT rights in the United States. So, gay and bisexual. So, here rights in the United States, LGBT. Okay. Lesbian, gay and bisexual. Okay. The preface. Which also Galder I had also. The preface to The Wretched of Art, that is published in 1961, was written by Albert Camus, Franz Fanon, L. Mozart, Jean Paul Sartre. Who has written the preface here? Who has written the preface here? Who has written the preface here? The preface to the Wretched of Art here was written by. So in Pidgin, John Paul Sartre, John Paul Sartre has written, okay, the preface. The preface of Wretched of the Art, okay, has been written by John Paul Sartre. So what is Pidgin and what is Creole? Pidgin, in Pidgin there is the speakers don't have common language. On the morning of Christ's nativity and on Shakespeare are early poems by Milton, Keats, Shelley, and Wordsworth. Okay, these are the early works by which writer? Milton, Keats, Shelley, and Wordsworth here. On the morning of Christ's nativity and on Shakespeare's art, these are the early poems of Milton, Keats, Shelley, and Wordsworth. These are the early poems of which writer here? Very easy. Okay, even I discussed earlier these questions: Milton, Keats, Shelley, and Wordsworth. So I'll be conducting another sessions. Okay, how can you say? On the mornings of Christ's nativity and on Shakespeare, Christ nativity. So it is Milton. It is not Keats actually. It is Milton. Okay, Milton. Milton is the right answer. Okay, on the morning of Christ's nativity and on Shakespeare, these are early works by Milton. Milton is the right answer. Okay, the restoration writer here. Okay. The opposite of mimesis. Mimesis is, imitation. When the author speaks in their own voice. The opposite of mimesis, when the author speaks in their own voice. Digesis, exegesis, epigenesis, and synesis. What is the opposite of mimesis? On the morning of Christ's nativity and on Shakespeare, these are works by Milton. The opposite of mimesis here. The opposite of mimesis actually. Which one is the right answer here? The opposite of mimesis here. It is digesis. Okay. Remember that digesis is the right answer. Okay. Remember also this is an important question. So mimesis opposite is digesis. Okay. And here is the explanation you see. Here is the explanation you see that mimesis shows rather than tells by means of directly represented action that is enacted. So this is here mimesis. Okay, mimesis shows rather than tells by means of directly represented action that is enacted. Now, what is digesis? Digesis actually, however, is the telling of the story by a narrator. Digesis is the telling of the story by a narrator. The author narrates action indirectly and describe what is in the character's minds and emotions. Okay, so this is digesis. Okay, the opposite of mimesis is digesis. Digesis, however, is the telling of the story by a narrator. Okay, and the author narrates action indirectly describes what is in the character's mind and emotion. Got it? Now it is yeah. That was so here. That's why okay, digesis is the right answer. The opposite of mimesis is digesis. So here A is the right answer. Excellent. Moving on to question 34 here. The author of Dhyan Loka, earlier I discussed, Anandavardhana, Dandin, Bharata, Muni, and Kalidas. Who has written the book Dhyan Loka? Who has written the book called Dhyan Loka? Who has written the book called Dhyan Loka? Anandavardhana, Dandin, Bharata, and Kalidasa. Who has written here the book called? Okay. I'll be conducting another sessions probably okay at 3 p.m. Okay, I'll be conducting another session at 3 p.m. even. Okay, at 3 p.m. Okay, if I have time, okay, I'll be informing in the Telegram channel. If I have time, okay, I'll be conducting another session 3 p.m. Then even in the evening, then even at night. Okay, I'll be conducting. I'm hoping that I'll be conducting today. Okay, 4 sessions. 4 session. Okay, so this is one session at 3 p.m. and then it will be at the evening at 8 p.m. and then at night actually at 10 probably. So the author of the Dhyan Loka is here. The author of Dhyan Loka is Anandavardhana. Anandavardhana is the right answer. Anandavardhana has written Dhyan Loka. So here A is the right answer. Next question. So Mabel Todd. Remember these questions. Mabel Todd is remembered as editor of the work of Oscar Wilde, Charles Dickens, Emily Dickinson's Mark Twain. Mabel Todd is remembered as the editor of the work of who is writer? Which of the following writers here? Oscar Wilde, Charles Dickens, Emily Dickinson, and Mark Twain. Mabel Todd is remembered as the editor of the which work of Oscar Wilde, Dickinson's. Okay, those who are watching, okay, please do like the session as well. And you see that okay, I have created a playlist that is 500 MCQ, okay, 500 MCQ for MPSET, okay. MPSET candidates, okay, you can, okay, visit the playlist, and by visiting the playlist, there is 500 MCQ for MPSET. You'll be getting the videos there, okay. So I'll be adding those videos, okay, in that playlist. So I request all of you to visit the playlist 500 MCQ for MPSET, okay, to get all the videos. And here is the right answer: is Emily Dickinson, okay. Emily Dickinson, okay, editor was Mabel Todd. Mabel Todd is remembered as editor of the work of Emily Dickinson. So Emily Dickinson editor was Mabel Todd. Mabel Todd. And to the extent that she is remembered today, Mabel Loomis Todd is mostly remembered either as the first editor of Emily Dickinson poetry or as the woman who had lengthy affair with Emily's oldest brother Austin. By the way, so the first editor of Emily Dickinson poetry was here Mabel Todd. Mabel Todd is the right answer. Next question: the distinction between fabula, again important one, fabula and sujet. What is fabula and what is sujet? The distinction, the differentiation between fabula and sujet is made in which work, okay, in which concepts like impressionism, expressionism, Russian formalism, essentialism, in which, okay, ideology. The distinctions between fabula and sujet. Fabula, what is fabula and what is sujet, okay. Fabula and what is sujet. So sujet क्या है और fabula क्या है? So what is fabula? What is fabula? Fabula is the chronological sequence, okay, chronological sequence, okay, of events, okay, of events in a story, in a narrative. So chronological sequence of events in a narrative is known as fabula, okay. This is fabula. And whereas sujet, how it is representation, how these are represented, okay. Sujet is representation of those events, okay, representation of events, okay, the story, okay, representation of those events is known as sujet. So here and this can be found, okay, in the work of in the theory of Russian formalism, okay. So here C is the right answer, formalism, okay. So fabula and sujet. Fabula is the chronological sequence of events, the plot, whereas the story here, representation of these events, okay, here it is the story, this is sujet. So fabula refers to the, here you see the fabula is referring what? Fabula is referring the chronological sequence of events in a narrative, whereas sujet is the representation of those events, okay, through narration, metaphor, camera angles, and reordering of the temporal sequence, and so on. Narratologists also have described fabula as the raw material of the story, and sujet is the way the story is organized, okay. The story is organized, the sujet. Fabula, the raw materials of a story. The chronological sequence of events in a narrative. The periodical that had stated aim to enliven morality with wit and to temper wit with morality, okay, to enliven morality with wit and wit to temper wit with morality. So which periodical, in which periodical, and who had stated this, that this was the aim of that periodical was to enliven morality with wit and to temper wit with morality. Tatler, that came in 1709. Spectator, the female Tatler, female Spectator. So it is the Spectator. Spectator came in 1711, okay. 1711 by, okay, founded by, okay, Joseph Addison and Richard Steele. So here Spectator 1711. So here Spectator's aim was to enliven morality with wit and to temper wit with morality. So here B is the right answer. And you see the Tatler that came in 1709 by Richard Steele, whereas the Spectator, okay, was daily publication founded by Joseph Addison and Richard Steele in England, lasting from 1711 to 1712. Each paper or number was approximately 2500 words long, and the original run consisted of 555 numbers beginning on March 1, 1711. Those were collected into 7 volumes. In number 10, Mr. Spectator, okay, states that the Spectator will aim to enliven morality with wit and temper wit with morality. The journal reached an audience of the thousands of people even a day because of the Spectator's was something. So that's why here the Spectator is the right answer. Spectator is the right answer, that was founded by Joseph Addison as well as Richard Steele. And here is the assessment result questions, okay. SAHOO Center by John Clare is about experience of an ordinary human being became quite popular during that time. This is the reason. SAHOO Center was written by John Clare. This is true actually. SAHOO Center by John Clare is about the experience of ordinary human being and became quite popular during the time. That is true. That is true. That is true. And the reason is that okay, John Clare, having suffered bouts of madness and could really feel for the misery of common man. So that is also true, but for this reason, it Tamo Center, okay, does not become popular. Okay, so here that's why okay, both A and R true, but R is not the correct explanation. R does not explain the A. Okay, so here B is the right answer. This one, Tamo Center by John Clare is about the experience of ordinary human being and became quite popular during the time. That is true, but reason is that the reason is saying that okay, because so is this the reason? No, the reason is actually the reason does not explain, but the reason is but the sentence is actually true here. Okay, but it does not explain how the answer A. Alexander Pope's essays on criticism published in 1711. So this is actually a poem. It is not an essay. Probably the name is essay, but it is not an essay. It is actually a poem. So name is given an essay, but it is a poem. So the Alexander Pope's an essay on criticism purports to define wit and nature as they apply the literature of each age. Wit and nature as they apply to literature of each age. That is true. Claims no originality in thought that governs this work. That is wrong actually. Is a prose essay that gives us such quotes. A little learning is a dangerous thing. Yes, in this work we find that a little learning is dangerous thing, but this is not a prose essay. This is not a prose essay. This is a poem. That's why that is also wrong. Okay, that is also wrong. Claims no originality in the thought that governs this work. That is also wrong. So you have an appeared in 1711. So here A and D. A and D, C and D, A and B, A to D. So here this one C is the right hand side. You see that Alexander Pope's an essay on criticism was published in 1711. That's why it is true also. Okay, and it is purporting to define wit and nature as they apply to literature of those. And this is not a prose essay, rather this is a poem. And in that poem we find the line a little learning is dangerous thing. That is true also, but it is not a prose essay. That's why it's wrong. C. So here A and D. That's why C is the this one option right here. Affective stylistics. Okay, affective stylistics is a perspective developed by Stanley Fish, Michel Repartet, Roman Jacobson's David Blage, who has it is Stanley Fish. Okay, Stanley Fish here, reader responsibility. Okay, reader responsibility. Okay, here reader responsibility. Okay, reader responsibility. Okay, Stanley Fish has actually okay developed affective stylistics. So here A is the right answer. And here affective stylistics established by Fish. Okay, believe that a text can only come into existence. Okay, text का existence है when it is read. Okay, until it is read. Okay, it does not have any existence. Okay, so it believes that okay, a text can only come into existence. Okay, as it is read. Therefore, the text cannot be meaning. Text cannot have meaning. Okay, independent of the reader. Okay, the text is depending upon the reader. When the reader is reading, when the reader reads the text. Okay, then the text exists. Okay, until then it does not exist. So what is register? It is not in computer. Okay, register in English language. In English language, register कहाँ पे रहता है? कंप्यूटर भी रहता है, लेकिन register यहाँ पे English language में बोला जा रहा है. What is register in English language? The way in which language registers in the minds of its users, the way in which a language registers in the minds of its users, or the way users of a language register the notions of that language, or a variety of language used in social situations, or one specially designed for the subject it deals with, or a variety of language used in non-professional or informal situations by professionals. So a register is actually a variety of language used in social situations in a context, or one specially designed for the subject it deals with. So this is here a register, and here it explains. A register is defined as the level of formality in language that is determined by the context in which it is spoken or written. It can be formal or informal. Formal speech is proper, while informal speech is conversational and casual. Everybody knows. So register is actually determined by the context in which it is spoken. The context in which it is spoken and written. It can be formal as well as informal. Jeremy Collier's important work, that is the short view of the immorality and profaneness of the English stage. Short view of the immorality and profaneness of the English stage. 1698 is the right answer. Okay. A short view of the immorality and profaneness of the English stage. 1698 is the work that is published in 1698. Attacked what? They attacked the practice of mixing tragic and comic things in Shakespeare plays, the bawdiness of low characters in Shakespeare's plays, the coarseness and ugliness of restoration theatre, and irreligious themes and irrelevant attitudes in the plays of 17th century. So it is Jeremy Colliers' a short view of the immorality and the profaneness of English stage, published in 1698. It is like John Vanbrugh, William Wycherley, John Dryden, and you have also William Congreve. But its main intention was to attack John Vanbrugh. Okay, John Vanbrugh was at the center of Jeremy Colliers' attack. So here the coarseness and the use of ugly words, ugliness of restoration theatre. Okay, so here C is the answer, and here you see explanation. In March 1998, Jeremy Colliers has published anti-theatre pamphlet called A Short View of the Immorality and Profaneness of the English Stage. Okay, in the pamphlet, Collier attacks number of playwrights like William Wycherley, John Dryden, William Congreve, John Vanbrugh, Thomas Dolphy. But John Vanbrugh was at the center of this attack. And Collier is attacking rather popular comedies from the London stage. He accuses the playwrights of profanity, blasphemy, indecency, and undermining public morality through the sympathetic depiction of vice. Okay, so this is the depiction of vice. Okay, through the sympathetic depiction of vice, use of blasphemy, words, profanity, and indecency. These are the things. Okay, for which here Jeremy Collier is actually attacking the playwrights of Restoration. Okay, like William Wycherley, John Dryden, William Congreve, John Vanbrugh, and Thomas Dolphy. But John Vanbrugh was at the center. One of the here question number 43. One of the most important themes, the speakers' debate on Dryden's essay on dramatic poesy. Is European and non-European perceptions reality, that is wrong. English and non-English perception of reality, that is wrong. The relative merits of French and English theatre, that is true. Okay, the relative merits of French and English theatre is the right answer. Here Neander is representing Dryden. Okay, the relative merits of French and English theatre, this one. Okay. Titus Eugenius, Lycidius, and Neander. Titus Eugenius, the four is the interlocutors, the dialogue between four characters: Titus, Eugenius, Lycidius, and you have Neander. Okay, Titus is the one who begins the conversation. Okay, and he was favoring the ancient writer. He was favoring the ancient writers. Titus was the one who begins the conversation, and Titus was favoring the ancient writers. So we have Titus, then you have Eugenius, Lycidius, and Neander, who is representing Dryden. Dryden's mouthpiece is Neander. Okay. Identify the correctly matched pair. Amitabh Ghosh, All About Age, that is wrong. Anita Desai, Inheritance of Love, that is wrong. Sahidas Pandey, A Bend in the Ganga, that is also wrong. Here Salman Rushdie, Enchantress of Florence, this is also okay. This is a most perfect work by Salman Rushdie. Okay. The Enchantress of Florence is the work. This is true actually. Whereas All About Age, written by G.V. Desani. G.V. Desani has written, okay, G.V. Desani has written All About Age Hatred, Hindustan Wala Hatred, and this is the precursor. This is the precursor of coining the term chutneyfication for Salman Rushdie. Okay, All About Age Hatred. Okay, G.V. Desani is All About Age Hatred is the precursor. Okay, for coining the term chutneyfication, it helped him to create the phrase chutneyfication. And Inheritance of Laws is written by here the Anita Desai's daughter, that is called Kiran Desai. This is a work by Kiran Desai. Okay. किरण देसाई एंड फॉर दिस वर्क सी वाज अवार्डेड विद द प्रेस्टिजियस साहित्य अकेडमी अवार्ड भी उसको मिला था. ठीक है. अब बेन इन द गंगा जी एक्चुअली बाय मनोहर मालगणकर. ओके, मनोहर मालगणकर हैज रिटन बेन इन द गंगा. इट इज नॉट बाय शशि देशपांडे. ओके, बेन इन द गंगा इज अ वर्क बाय मनोहर मालगणकर. सो हियर डी इज द राइट आंसर. एंचेंट्स ऑफ फ्लोरेंस बाय सलमान रुश्दी. ओके, नाउ नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, मैच द फॉलोइंग करेक्टली हियर. लैंग्वेज एंड पैरल, कॉम्पिटेंस एंड परफॉर्मेंस, आइकॉनिक एंड लेक्सिकल, रिडल एंड इटली, नोम चॉम्स्की, अल्सन स्पेयर, फर्डिनेंड ससुर, एंड हियर इज रूलाबार्ट. चलो देखो, language parallel by Ferdinand Saussure, isn't it? Ferdinand Saussure language parallel. Whereas competence performed by Noam Chomsky, whereas iconic and indexical by Charles and Spears, and readily and intelligible by Roulabart. So language क्या है? Language is set of rules. Language is the set of rules. Okay, set of rules. Okay, and here parallel is the actual speech. Okay, the actual usage, the actual use, the actual speech or the actual use. Okay, this is parallel. And here is language very similar to competence. Okay, whereas parallel is similar to performance. Okay, parallel is similar to performance. Okay, Noam Chomsky was influenced by that is you have Ferdinand Saussure's work, concept of language and parallel, and he has created the terms like here competence and performance by Noam Chomsky. Competence is very similar to language, whereas performance is very similar to parallel. And here readily text and readily text by this is the post-structuralist, right, and structuralist is post-structuralist Roulabart, but Charles and Brisford is given the concept like iconic and indexical. Okay. So which of the following statements is not true of Dante Gabriel Rossetti? D.G. Rossetti, okay. D.G. Rossetti was a Londoner, the son of an Italian refugee who taught Italian at King's College. That is true. Okay, he was a son of Italian refugee also. Rossetti formed the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood with Holman, Hahn, Ford Madox, and painter John Millage. That is also true. D.G. Rossetti formed the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood. Okay, with Holman, Hahn, Ford Madox, Brown, and painter Millage. That is true also. He married Christina Georgina. That is wrong. Okay, so Christina Rossetti was his sister, not wife, sister. That is wrong. Okay. Rossetti's blessed grandmother displays his remarkable gifts as a poet and painter. Excellent. That is also true. So here, this one, C is the right answer, which is not true. So C is not true actually. So C is the right answer. Wilkie Collins, a novel, important novel, The Moonstone, published in 1868. Okay, The Moonstone, published in 1868, tells the story of detectives' exploits in the Victorian England, a doctor's adventures in the Middle East. No, this is about Moonstone, a fabulous yellow diamond stolen from an Indian shrine, or illegal mining of diamonds in eastern UP during. No, this is a fabulous yellow diamond stolen from an Indian shrine. This is here the Moonstone. The Moonstone here, the yellow diamond that has been stolen from an Indian temple, Indian shrine. So here C is the right answer. Wilkie Collins, The Moonstone. Because I could not stop for the Walt Whitman, O Captain, my captain, two road divers in a wood, so much depends upon. So here, Robert Frost, two road divers in a wood. Okay, two road divers in a wood. That is here Robert Frost. And you have So Much Depends Upon by William Carlos Williams, and O Captain, my captain by Walt Whitman. Because I could not stop for it by Emily Dickinson. So here, this is how it is matched. Next question. George Eliot, Saki, Emily Bronte, Mark Twain. Saki is by H.S. Mundo. Mark Twain, Samuel Langhorne, Emily Bronte, Alice Bell, and George Eliot, Mary and Events. This is how it is matched. Next question. This is the last question probably. Based on the following descriptions, identify the text in reference. This is a play in which no one comes, no one goes, nothing happens. It is in its opening scene, a man struggles hard to remove his boot. The play was originally written in French, later translated into English. It is first performed in 1953. Everyone knows it. This is a very easy question. Slow and Anger, Waiting for Godot. The Jew Story, The Birthday Party, Waiting for Godot. And here, a tragicomedy. This is having the subtitle, a tragicomedy in 2 acts. A tragicomedy in 2 acts is the subtitle. Okay, and the subtitle was only in the English version. The subtitle came in the English version, a tragicomedy in 2 acts. And here is the explanation. Waiting for Godot is a play by Irish playwright Samuel Beckett, in which 2 characters, Vladimir and Estragon. Vladimir is known as Didi. Remember that Vladimir is known as Didi, and Estragon is Gogo. Remember, Vladimir had Didi, Vidi. Okay, Didi is here, Vladimir, and Estragon is Gogo. Engage in a variety of discussions and encounters while awaiting a title or product who never arrives. Waiting for Godot is Beckett's translation of how his own original French language play in Attendant Godot, and it is subtitled as a tragicomedy in 2 acts. So this is how so these are all 25 questions. Okay, these are all 25 questions I have completed. Okay, this is here 50 questions. Okay, I'll be covering. Okay, I'll be covering total 500 MCQ questions. Okay, I'll be covering total 500 MCQ questions for the upcoming MCQ questions, and those who are requesting me to make videos, okay, on literary theory, okay, literary theory as well as on literary criticism, definitely I'll be making. Okay, definitely I'll be making in the upcoming days. Okay, so for the upcoming, so please visit the playlist that is 500 MCQ for MPSET. Okay, you'll be getting all the videos in that playlist. So visit the playlist 500 MCQ for MPSET. Those questions definitely help you to take the exam, to qualify the exam. So these are our 25 questions. I'll be conducting another session from 3 p.m. From 3 p.m. Okay. I'll be conducting another session for 3 p.m. today only. From 3 p.m. I'll be conducting another session. Thank you once again for watching the video. Do like the sessions and make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you. I'll be ending the session here, and have a good day.